We just installed four 4K Viofo dash cameras into my Volkswagen ID4. We have the Viofo A329, the Viofo A229 Pro, the Viofo A129 Pro, and the Viofo A139 Pro. So let's show you how we did the installation on my Volkswagen ID4. We actually started by doing a removal of the last four dash cameras we just had installed. I had the U1000 Plus from Thinkware U3000, the DDPAI N5 Dual, and the Vroid D21 4K, because we were working on a radar parking mode video. There's a lot of wires everywhere, as you can see. So I've already taken off the A-pillar, cut all the wiring that was tie strapped to factory wiring, and continuously removing all of it. This is quite the process too, because I even hooked up 360-degree camera protection with the U1000 Plus and their multiplexer module. So there was a lot of extra wiring everywhere in this vehicle that I had to actually manage and get in. My poor headliner in my vehicle has been through quite a lot. So now we have to remove all of these off the windshield. So I'm just using my panel popper tool and a combination of my utility knife to actually cut away. And then as we take off the tape of that was basically the Vroid and the U1000 Plus, the U3000 is now removed. And now we're working on removing the DDPAI mount. And then we're going to go from there and start removing the radar module add-on for the DDPAI, which was just mounted. It's just an add-on that goes up top. So now we've done that, we're going to use some antiseptic wipes, which we like to use to clean off all the old residue, all the old tape. We want to make sure that we have a nice, clean, prepped surface for our next set of dash cameras that we're going to be doing in the vehicle. So we're now going to commence with figuring out where are we going to put all four of these Viofo 4K dash cameras. And as you can see, we came up with putting the A229 Pro and the A329 on the left-hand side, and we're going to be putting the A129 Pro and the A139 Pro on the right-hand side, passenger side of the vehicle. So we prep the harnessing, we're taking a look to see how's it going to look, how's it going to work, and then we go about with mounting the A229 Pro and running the wires up into the headliner, and then running the A329 wiring and mounting it on the windshield right next to it. So there's like a very small gap between these two. We want them as close as possible so that when we are doing our testing and showing customers, we can actually give them an idea of how it is, as accurate as possible, so that both cameras are at the same height on the windshield and right next to each other. So we have the A-pillar off, as you can see, and we're just running the wiring in behind the airbags for the rear cameras, and then we just finished tie strapping it all to factory wiring, and now we're just lining up the A-pillar. So we want to make sure that it's all nicely lined up, the clips go back in place, and that's all done safely. Once that's all done, we'll move on to the A129 Pro and the A139 Pro, as we're going to go and mount those on the passenger side windshield, and we're using the marks. This is a little bit lower than we normally mount it. We usually mount them a little bit higher, but I wanted to have all four of these at very close height with the lenses, and I think this was a way better way to do it, so that's why we went with this height. And as you can see here, we're running the wires behind the airbag again, now on the passenger side, for the other two rear cameras of the A139 Pro and the A129 Pro, and we're going to start tie strapping the wiring down the A-pillar as well, so that we can actually run power and ground and ignition over there, because we actually have two battery packs running in the vehicle, and we have two different power points, so we can actually run it on either side of the vehicle and take up a little less space, and so not to have four sets of power cables running down one side. So we actually lined up the A-pillar again. It's going to lock into place. These clips on Volkswagens do tend to suck, even though it is my own vehicle. You have to bend them back into place and then clip them back in. And now we're running the wiring from the front to the back of the vehicle. And as we keep going from the front to the back of the vehicle, I have taken obviously a lot more panels off than I normally do. And the main reason why we actually took those panels off is because we did originally have the 360-degree cameras in those two rear triangle windows from the U1000 Plus when we did the multiplexer. So a lot of these clips actually will come off the panels and stay on the vehicle side. So that's why you see us using our panel popper tool to actually take those clips off so we can put them back onto the Volkswagen panels so we can properly clip them in place, because the last thing you really want is any rattling or anything fun like that happening. So as we continue assembling, and like I said, we don't normally take this many panels off, but this is because we had the 360-degree camera installed prior on the Volkswagen ID4. So we're just going to assemble the hatch again, and one of the clips gives us a little bit of a hiccup here, so we actually have to take it off and make sure to actually just straighten it out again, so that way we can clip the panel back in place. This panel's been off like 50 times. So now we have the 4 cameras mounted, and it's completely finished the installation. Hopefully you enjoyed our video on how we installed 4 Viofo dash cameras into my Volkswagen ID4. Keep in mind, the Viofo A329 full review will probably be out near the end of October or early November. And that one's going to be exciting because we're going to be showing you all 4 of these dash cameras. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have some guest appearances from some other brands on here. If you do have a certain dash camera that you would like to see compared to the Viofo A329, and it is something we carry or something easily accessible to us, please let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear about that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you are looking to support us in Greater Vancouver or Greater Toronto, we supply and install dash cameras, and we come direct to you and install it on site. Or check us out, safedrivesolutions.com. We ship to the United States or Canada. Thanks again.